Hey everyone, this is Kyle Gears, CEO and co-founder of Zeroed In Consulting. For those that don't know me, my background is in the world of technical accounting, so helping businesses navigate and understand all of the crazy rules that come with specific accounting under what we call US GAAP. In our last video, we talked about the basics of the basics when it comes to technical accounting. What it is, what it's related to, and why should I care? Key takeaway of that video is that the accounting under US GAAP can be extremely complex, highly technical, and it's always changing, right? So it's a little bit of a headache to constantly keep up to date and try to navigate that accounting. The goal of this video is to chat about some of those situations where your business may or may not be applicable for US GAAP. Let's say you're part of a small business or a startup in its earlier stages. Either you or a bookkeeper is just logging transactions, just making sure that you have enough to give to your CPA at the end of the year so you can do your tax filings. At this point, you probably don't have any major investment or you probably don't have any major loans. The good news for you is you probably don't need US GAAP accounting. What you have is good enough, and you should thank your lucky stars that you don't need to be worrying about that next level. Let's even take it one step further. Let's say that you're a startup. Let's say, hey, I want to go out and I want to raise more funding. You're going to a venture capital firm, and they come in and say, I love the idea. We want to invest. We'd like to get some of your reporting every once in a while, but we're not overly worried about it. Really, they're not asking for US GAAP reporting. Same situation for, let's say that you're going out and starting to get a loan. You're going to the bank and they say, well, we definitely want to see your monthly financial statements. In that case, yeah, make sure you get that financial information to them. But for the most part, you don't need to be worrying about the complexities of US GAAP. Up to this point in all these cases, you generally don't have to worry about that US GAAP accounting. Now, what happens when you come to that next step? So let's say that you are ready for another round of funding. And this time you're saying, I'm going big. I'm ready to raise millions or tens of millions of dollars. Chances are you're starting to talk to some bigger investors and some bigger lenders. And they're saying, okay, we'll give you the money, but that is a lot of money to give. And we want to make sure that we're on top of your books. So from this point on, you have to do your accounting under US GAAP. Also, they may even throw in a requirement to say, hey, you need to get your books audited or reviewed by a CPA to make sure that they're right. That can be a huge process, a painful process, on top of just understanding how the US GAAP accounting goes. And this is the same case for any company that's ready to go public. You are actually required to account under not just US GAAP, but actually some additional disclosures and rules by the SEC. So, key summary of all this is if you're a smaller business, if you have maybe a smaller loan, a little bit of initial funding, chances are you do not have to worry about US GAAP. If you're starting to get to that larger stage, millions or tens of millions of investment, probably worth checking your purchase agreements, your loan agreements, and seeing if you have those US GAAP reporting requirements. And do it sooner rather than later. Nothing is worse than getting caught in a surprise to say, hey, guess what? You have to get your audit done. You have to account under US GAAP, and you need it done by the end of the month. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of work to do. Highly recommend jumping on it sooner rather than later. And if you're not really sure or you want to just kind of even know where you're at, please do reach out. We're always happy to take a look at an agreement, see if there are any requirements in there. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, at least a little bit to you. If you're interested in more, feel free to check out some of our other videos, or also feel free to visit our website at zi.consulting and check out some of the blogs that we've got going on there and see if they're helpful to you. And thanks for joining.